Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's Keshwani, Keshwani. We are here because we want to prepare for the ACT. We have been solving ACT math problems out of this book here, the official ACT prep guide. If you do not own this book already, purchase one immediately. You're going to need it. The problems that we are about to solve are the ones that you will find on page number 173. Please turn to it. Page number 173 and problem number, today's our lesson number 11. The very first problem on page 173 is number 36. In number 36 we are given two bits of information. First we are told that the larger number exceeds the smaller by 8. That's the first part we are told. Then they further go on to tell us that the sum of twice the larger number and thrice the smaller number is 65. We're going to deal with them. We're going to deal with this statement one at a time and see what we can come up with. We're going to use letter S to represent the small one. We're going to use the letter L to represent the large one. Always use your symbols. Always use symbols that make logical sense. You do not have to go around using X and Y throughout the entire thing just because it happens to be an algebra problem. There is no law which says that if it's an algebra problem, you must use X and Y. Use symbols that are logical. If you're going to represent Michael's age, use letter M. If you use letter M and you use letter K for Kevin's age, then throughout the entire problem, you don't have to remember whose age is X and whose age is Y and end up making some careless mistake. Because the letter makes logical sense. Well, K, that's Kevin's age. M, that's Michael's age. I don't have to remember it. S for the small number, L for the large number. Shall we? Let's begin, shall we? Larger number, we are told, exceeds the smaller number by 8. So larger number exceeds the smaller number. Or does it say something else? Did I leave something out? Did I make a mistake already? Did I read it properly? It says larger of the two number exceeds twice the smaller number by 8. Larger number it doesn't exceed the smaller number by 8. Had this been the case, since I wrote it here, let's finish it. What does this say? Since I made a mistake, let's finish it up before I erase it. What does this say? Can you read this thing? Can you read this thing in English language? Yes, that's what I said, English language. Mathematics, language of algebra is like any other language. It's a language, and language is made up of sentences. What do we call a comparable part in the language of algebra? A comparable part in the language of algebra is an equation. An equation is a sentence. What this tells me is that the large number is same as the smaller number. That's not what this says. It says larger number exceeds the smaller number by 8. Whatever the smaller number is, whatever the smaller number happens to be, the larger number is 8 more than the smaller number. That's what it means. It exceeds the smaller number. It exceeds the smaller number by 8. So this is not right. This says the large number is same as the small number. No, large number is 8 more than the smaller number. So if I'm going to put equal sign here, we need to put 8 more. So now whatever the small number is, if you were to add 8 to it, now this quantity equals L. But of course we know this is wrong because I misread it. That's not what the book says. What the book says is that the large number exceeds twice the smaller number. So let's start again. So first we put down 2 times S, and what does this tell us? This tells us the large number is same as twice the smaller number. Or in other words, 2 times the smaller number, twice the smaller number is equal to the large number. That's not what we are being told. What we are being told is that the large number exceeds this quantity by 8. Whatever this quantity happens to be, 2 times s, whatever this quantity happens to be, this guy L is 8 more than that. So in order for us to put an equal sign in there, we need to put 8. There you go. That's what this is. Do you understand? By the way, if you're one of those people who has trouble with word problem, if you suck at word problem, if you need help at word problem, at my channel, on my channel, you will find 100 videos dealing with precisely that, is dealing with simple algebra word problem, very simple algebra word problems to get you the sound foundation that you may lack. It's very important to understand the basics of a basic building block of word problems. Look for algebra word problem day 1 through 100. Let's continue here. Next part tells us that the sum, I want to make sure, now I'm paranoid, I want to make sure that I did not misread this part. It's the sum of twice the larger number. Okay, the sum, so we're looking for the sum of twice the larger number. Well, twice the larger number is this, 2 times s, or rather 2 times L. You see, s is not a large number, that's a small number. This is what I'm talking about. Don't use x and y, because then you have to remember whether x was a smaller, or whether x was a small number or y was a small number. I just made an error, but I caught myself right away, because it makes no sense for me to say that s represents a large number. Sum of twice the large number, so that's twice the large number, and what? And thrice the smaller number. Thrice. What does thrice mean, by the way? The word thrice is not what appears in the book. The word thrice is not what appears in the book. For some strange reason, these people felt that the word thrice would be probably a little bit beyond your vocabulary. It should not be beyond your vocabulary. It's a very simple word. It just means 3 times. Thrice means 3 times. As a matter of fact, we learned that word. We learned the word thrice in our vocabulary lessons. I'll tell you which day. On day number 63. Day 63. Just type in ACT vocabulary words, day 63, and the video will pop right up. And if it doesn't pop up, if sometimes it happens where you do not find it right away, then try putting it with my name. Just put in Keshwani and then put down ACT vocabulary words, day 63. The video will pop right up where we'll learn the word thrice, and we'll learn several other words dealing with different time periods, such as a decade, a period of 20 years. Do you know what a period of 20 years is called? It has a name. Do you know what a period of 2 weeks is called? It has a name. Do you know what a period of 2 years is called? It has a name. You should know these basic things. Do you understand? Watch the video. Sum of twice the large number and thrice the smaller number. Thrice the smaller number is 3 times the smaller number. That's it. And that sum equals 65. What do we have to do next? Well, somehow we have to combine the 2 equations. We have to combine the 2 equations, which is not a big deal. Here we see 2 times L, and we know L equals this part right here. So 2 times this quantity is going to be 2 times, oh, I shouldn't have put it there. 2 times this quantity is what we're looking for here. So it's just 2 times L, which is 2s plus 8. 2L plus 8. In other words, we're simply substituting, not 2L, 2s. 2s plus 8, we're simply substituting the value of L from here, 2s plus 8 in there, plus 3s. And we just have to solve for it, that's all it is. So let's open the parentheses, so we get 2 times 2, which is 4s, plus 2 times 8, which is 16, plus 3s. I'm not sure if they go that far, maybe they stop right here, sometimes they do that. Let's look at the answer choices before we waste our time. How are the answer choices laid out? Oh, answer choices are laid out in this form here. So we're looking for 2 times 2s plus 8, and s is there, x there. So I see 2 answer choices there, j and k, they both start out like that, plus 3s equals 65. Then what's the difference between j and k? I'm trying to see here. In the k it says minus. We don't need minus, we need plus. 2s plus 8. The answer is j. The answer is j. I was about to do all the solution here. They're not looking for that. They stop right here. They stop right here. This is how they show it. So we didn't need this part. This was a waste of time. We don't have to do this part. We don't have to multiply them out. That's it. Let's do the next one, shall we? Let's do the next one. Just give me one break, quick break. You must work on your vocabulary. It does not hurt. If you want to get a decent score in the reading portion, you have to have decent vocabulary, and the vocabulary videos are right there. And so are the algebra videos. As I said, if you're not good in algebra word problems, they are right there. Just go to my channel and look for. There are 200 videos on algebra. The first 100 videos deal with the basic foundations of the algebra concepts, and then the next 100 videos you will see it will say algebra word problems, day 101 through 200. Number 37. We have a 30-foot ladder. We have a 30-foot ladder, which we are told is 10 foot from the wall. And the question simply is, how much is the height? Well, let's find out, shall we? We need to put it in the picture here. So here's our wall. Here is our 30-foot ladder, which is 30 foot. And the question is, how much is the height? Well, they must have told us how far the ladder is sitting from the wall. Oh, right here, 10 feet from the wall. Oh, this is very simple. And of course this makes a 90-degree angle because it's the wall and the floor, of course, are perpendicular. That's it. It's a simple application of Pythagorean theorem is all it is. Pythagorean theorem tells us that the hypotenuse squared equals to the two side squares, 10 squared plus the h squared, h for the height. That's all, we just have to solve for it. So h squared would be 30 squared is 900 minus the 10 squared, which is 100. So that gives us 800. That's our h squared. Let's write 800 as 4 times 200. Okay, stay with me in the story. It's very important that you stay with me in the story. And now we'll take the square root of the both sides. Okay? So h is equals to, when we take the square root of h squared, becomes h is equals to square root of 4 times square root of 200. Square root of 4 times square root of 200. Well, the square root of 4 is just 2. Question is, do you know how much is square root of 200? Do you know how much is the square root of 200? You have to know these basic things. As I always remind you, you have to know some basic things, basic concept, basic facts about arithmetic. You must know your squares. You must know your squares 1 through 20. 1 through 20. Where can I put P? Know your squares. Day 2, T's. Don't worry about what it is for. Don't worry about what this exam is. Math is math. Math does not change from one test to the other. Do you understand? The math is math. Type in T-E-A-S, as in tea that one drinks. This is the plural of tea. Teas is the name of one of the exams. Just type in day 2 and type in know your squares. Know your squares, day 2, T's. I want you to watch that video. In that video, we will learn all the squares that we need to learn from 1 through 20. And you have to know those by heart because they come in very handy in the exam. For example, here, had we known our squares, we would have realized that 14 squared is 196. 14 squared is 196. Therefore, square root of 200. Therefore, square root of 200. Square root of 200 is approximately 14. It's approximately 14. The square root of 200 is approximately 14. So we can no longer put the equal sign because we're going to approximate here. So it's approximately equal to 2. This part is not the approximate. Square root of 4 is 2, but square root of 200 is approximately equal to 14. That's it. So the answer is about 28. The answer is 28. You find any answer choice that comes close to 28. I think 28 comes very close to 28. The answer is C. The answer is C. Let's do one more, shall we? Let's do number 38. Just give me a break again. I need break after every problem. Why, you ask? Because I'm a baby. I must have my breaks. Oh, I shouldn't have raised that part. It was T's day 2. And again, if you have trouble finding the video just with this this tag, type in my name with it. Just put in Keshwani and then put in T's day 2 and it will pop right up. Watch that video, watch the video in its entirety, and you will learn something out of it. You will learn some basic things. Do you understand? And by the way, there are 80 videos dealing with this exam here, T's, and they are excellent videos to watch for anybody who wants to improve their math skill, basic, very fundamental math skill. Do you understand? This exam does not have very high level math, very simple math. You might learn something. Well, one never knows. Let's continue. Enough of the talk. We are on problem number 38. In problem 38, we are told that the radius of the circle is 7. And we are also told that ABCD is a square. And it looks something like this. So here's our squares. Okay, A, B, C, D is a square, and the circle sits something like this. Now the tricky part is that what they show us in the picture here, let's see if I can reproduce it. They tell you that from here to the center is 7. Well, if from here to the center is 7, then so is this distance. This distance is also 7. They are all 7. From the center, if you go anywhere, they are all 7. If you go from here to here, is also 7. So what does it tell us about the length of CD? The length of CD is just 7 plus 7. It's 14. And they're looking for, what is the question asking? The area of the square. Area of the square is simply 7 plus 7, which is 14. And because it's a square, this side is also 14. As you can see, from here to here is 7, from this part is 7, and this part is also 7. They are all 7. Because all of them are radii. They are radius. Do you understand? They are radii. The plural of radius is radii. Radii. Radii is plural of radius. So that's it. This area of the square is going to be 14 by 14. Again, as you can see, don't waste your time. You shouldn't have to waste your precious 1 second, 2 seconds in the exam trying to figure out what 14 times 14 is. You must know your squares by heart. 14 squared is right, is still there. 14 squared is 196. 196 is the answer, and that will be what is the area of the square in square feet? I don't see 196 anywhere. Oh, 196 is answer choice E, answer choice K. Answer choice K. The answer is K. K is in kite. I didn't see it. It's 196, which is answer choice K. That's all. Again, you see, knowing the squares comes in quite handy. You have to know this thing, otherwise you're going to end up wasting your time trying to figure out what 14 times 14 is. That's all there is. I was going to continue and do the next two problems, but I'm not going to do them because it's getting to be a very long video. I'll do them in the next video, okay? Bye now.